news is facing huge credibility crisis, maybe because of the nature of television news, and some people saying it's too hysterical, the Radia tape. So a variety of things have kind of put news in the spotlight. What do you think of news today in India?
Well, news has changed dramatically. News coverage. News is, of course, what it was,
Right.
but news coverage has changed tremendously in the last 2 years. It is now no longer what is happening. It is what is happening and who agrees with it and who doesn't agree with it. It's always the debate.
So now you have to take a position.
You have to take a position. There has
Every
to be a
battle
debate.
is the Mahabharata.
If
There are no
something,
neutral
if
parties.
something is very important, but it's very clear cut, the channels won't cover it. If there are floods and relief needs to be there, they'll cover it a little bit. But they will not cover it as much if
So they'll cover things with their opinions that
where
I
their
agree or I
opinions is
disagree.
polarization. In fact, a lot of this
And that's only for
issue
channels,
of
you
this
think, or even
author,
print?
it's because right now as we speak, there is no polarizing news. And the media monster needs something.
That's where
so if
Litfest is
nothing
getting
else,
so
that
much coverage.
Chetan said something
In fact,
off
that's
the
what I
cuff
thought. I
and-
said, it's a lean news period if Litfest is making
well,
all the headlines.
they have told me that many times that we have no news. I remember in the past when there was something I tweeted about Narayan Murthy and it became national
Yeah, I
headlines.
remember.
And they said, frankly, Chetan,
You were
there
on
was-
debate with Pai on that as well.
Yeah, they said that we had nothing to show on TV, and this was the only issue we thought our English language viewers will be interested in. And that's a little scary because,
You think that's just because the electronic media, the
that's
print
because
media doesn't
everything
have...
is about, the commerce is, there is because a lot of channels are not secure. A lot of channels are not making money or they're not secure because too many channels.
Most of them are not making money.
Yeah, so what is happening is there's a desperate bid to stay afloat. That is leading to ethical standards being compromised.
Okay.
And until there is a consolidation and only a few channels remain and who are secure of their profitability, then maybe they'll adopt standards. So I think a few...
But don't you think there's a danger in that because channels also have this, the promoter, if he's involved, like for example, Mukesh Ambani buying over, that's created a lot of
there'll be conflicts of
chatter.
interest all the time. There is conflicts of interest everywhere. But
gotta learn to
overall
live with it.
today, people do find out because of social networks, which will become a great, way
Source
to
of news
spot
even.
if there is any anomalies in reporting. Plus the competition. Media is not a monopoly. It's a competition. So if somebody is being biased, somebody out there won't be. So it's still good. I'm still very optimistic. I think the media has done a great job in the last 2 years in setting the agenda for change a little bit.
You've often been at the receiving end of, how media covers. Like you just said right now that you're accusing me of being in the battle. Does it ever frustrate you? What has been your dynamic or engagement in the media? Sometimes have you ever got so pissed off that damn these cameras?
No, I don't. I'm very thankful to the media. I am a writer and I have...
You think you're a product of the media?
I have no advertising. There's never a Chetan Bhagat ad, but people have known me through the media and of course through my books and social networks now. So media plays a very important role. I think the media has given me a lot of credibility. Whatever it is, people, whenever media reports my opinions, they report them because they think they are important. And they've all told me that we feel your voice is important. So I think overall it's okay. I don't get that frustrated, but sometimes I understand the motivation was something else and I've learned to just accept it, that they have to make it a little more sensational. They have to give a tadka, which I think the viewers also know, frankly.
Do you have a favorite? I'm going to ask you three favorite. One favorite author, books that you like reading of?
I really like George Orwell, who has brought about a lot of change through satires. I'm not as good, but everybody needs an inspiration. So people like him, Hemingway, people like Dickens, they are my space. They were
And
long.
contemporary writers, anyone you really
I don't know,
like?
I'll read almost anything, but this book by Boomerang by Michael Lewis I'm reading. I'll read the Twilight series to just figure out what teenagers saw in it.
I see.
So a lot of simpler books I read which have made a big impact.
Okay, and do you have a favorite newspaper? And why?
Well, I write columns for the Times of India and Dainik Bhaskar. Much as I like Times of India, and I write for them and they give me the reach.
But they also sell
But
editorial
I
space.
don't like what they do with the editorials so much. But the main paper of the Times has been, by and large, unbiased. And I know it is because the way it's structured.
And you have a favorite news channel?
I don't want to say it, man. All are my friends. I don't want to speak.
But you aren't going to commit to a channel?
No, why should I?
Just
I don't
check.
commit to anybody. I'm telling you, even when people ask me about Anna's movement, I commit to the cause. I will never commit to a personality or
Sure.
a particular channel. because I want to be true to myself.
Any specific coverage of any event that you thought was way too over the top and coverage that you thought was very good? A moment of pride for the Indian news media, electronic, and a moment of shame, what would it be?
I do think the Anna movement was a moment of pride. I think it was something which without the media it wouldn't have really, I mean, of course, it connected with people, but the media did give the right positioning and went the right way. And moment of shame, I don't know. I mean, it's very hard to say.
26/11, because everyone says 26/11.
No, even that whole Narayan Murthy thing, I mean, it was really not required for me to pit me against that. I made a comment on his comment. It wasn't a me versus him battle. Neither is mine battle today, like for example, with another author. I don't need to do that. But I want to discuss issues. I want to understand, you know, if I talk about the education system, I can say I don't agree with this gentleman.
Sure.
If I want to talk
It need
about...
not be a battle. It doesn't always
It's
have to
not
be
a battle, it's a difference of opinion, and I'm doing it with respect. I'm not calling anybody personal names, but it was shown as that, like with the cutaways and beats and, you know, all that dang Murthy versus Bhagat, which I mean, what is my auqat to take on Narayan Murthy, yaar, and what is my auqat to take on Mr. Rushdie? I mean, they're all accomplished writers. He won a Booker Prize when I was born, 74. So there is no way I'm comparing, but you know, I just wanted to bring out that there is always two sides.
You can have an opinion, even if
Yeah,
the
I want
other
to
person
encourage
is
young
accomplished.
people to have opinions. It's not like, oh, wo to, you can't give an opinion on them. They're like, you know.
You shouldn't be underconfident about giving an opinion.
No
just
holy cows. And as long as you're respectful, polite, I think it's fine.